Hey guys, Lucid, welcome back. I got another episode for you here with Bumble Rumble. And I think we're going to kind of keep the same format I've been doing, I think, for the past episodes, where we're going to look at all the stuff that happens, and we're going to talk through some of it, but I'm probably not going to play out most of it with you. I'll probably play out most of it afterwards. But I'm not sure. Let me know which you guys like better when I kind of come in and more or less react to this stuff at the beginning, and then we talk about it. Or if I've kind of done my turn and come back and summarize as much as I can remember my movements at the end. Or whether you like me to mix it up and switch back and forth. So, anyway, here we go. I haven't played much of this turn. I've kind of done a little bit of the housekeeping, but we cast Teleport a few times. We cast Living Castle, a report from Green Sea, which is my throne province, so it blocked something. He's probably sending assassins at me or something, I don't know. Contact Naiad. I don't remember if I showed you this. This was to get... I needed somebody who could cast Living Castle over here, because I think I'm going to fort up underwater. Also, there is a rather harrowing amount of undead here. Okay, Call the Wild, which was a little remote attack spell, Ghost Riders, and then Curse of Blood, and then Revive King. And, yeah. So, okay, I don't want to spoil this for you, but I probably just did. So this was our... I don't remember if I don't think I scripted this in the last episode, but I mentioned that I might. I said I had these guys who had all kind of just returned from duty. And it's risky attacking a province adjacent to an army, because they may send the army in and then kill you. But that still could happen, but... we have caught the tart, and this tart has Ember, Scutata, or whatever, this, and then this. So he has 2 artifacts on him, which is, you know, significant. Ember is a particularly good artifact. I mean, it's not too expensive, but it's a really nice artifact. So if we look at the gem cost, this is 20, this is 10, then this is... So anyway, 20, 30, 35, 40... this is a 10 gem item, so it's 50, 60, or 55, and then this is a 10 gem, which is 65. So this is a 65 gem guy. Then it cost him 10 gems to summon the tart, so that's now 75. And then it cost him probably 20 gems about to Gift of Reason him, or Divine Name him. So now that's... I kind of lost count, but I think we're at, what, 75? So then we're at 95? Around 90. But with the hammer discounts, it's probably more like, I don't know, 80 gems maybe, to make this guy. So pretty, you know, like a small global. Like a global you're not overcasting. Got our water elementals. Now, it cost me to come and do this attack. I mean, I risked something, but it cost me 9 pearls and teleport, which we all know I care a lot about teleport right now. Then we've got our enslaved mine going off. We've got everybody now except the tart. And then it cost me 8 gems and water elementals. Okay, we just got him. So, on the downside, I didn't have any commanders here to potentially pick up some of this stuff. So, it would have been a decent idea to teleport in one more guy just to try to pick up this stuff. Because that would have been, you know, potentially like 40 gems worth of items I could have gotten. I mean, I could have gotten all of them, but in general you won't. But it's very possible I could have gotten 40 gems worth of stuff. So that would have been worth, I think, teleporting in somebody with inventory slots. Have a battle here with Pythium, where we send in wolves and they kill his PD. I'll just show you. And I checked before I did this to see what kind of PD they had, and it was just shitty blowpipes. Sometimes if there's heavy cav, like a few heavy cav can murder all the wolves, so you do have to be a little careful. And this is the type of remote attack that if they do even a small PD dump, like 20 PD, this will just bounce off of it. But now I have a stealthy little squad who can move around. And then we sent in Ghost Riders and problem a little bit, and this is common to really all Dominions, but as you do things, your opponent adapts, so not only do they kind of develop their own defenses against you, but they're like, oh, and like Pythium, you can see him doing that in this game. He's been like, and he actually said it a little bit in the game chat, he's like, oh, I never knew Shade Mail Hallbergs were such a good item, and so he's been forging them. But anyway, I expect some of these remote attacks are now going to come out from Pythium, which kind of sucks, but whatever. We had a few assassination attempts. They got this guy who had 2 pearls on him, which kind of sucks. And then they got a scout. I thought I was patrolling, but I actually didn't end up patrolling these assassins out, and that is because I cast that Call of the Wild instead of patrolling with my main guy, or with my nature dude. Okay, a few battles we're gonna run through. The Lich attacks here. Wait, whoops. Okay, so this was our Lich, and we successfully raided. We'll just watch it again. It's been a while since I think we actually watched one of the Lich raids. Okay. That was this one. Coming down, relay attacks, and we managed to drive him off. We moved into attack, so he had a stealthy tart here. And I knew he was going to stealth the tart out, but apparently he moved in a worm mage. Anyway, and we summoned a few fire elementals. Why are these scouts here? Are there more bugs over here? The fuck? Oh well. Anyway, we killed them. You can see the Worm Mage being kind of annoying. I actually want to see... Let's look at the end of the battle. I think they have... Did they have recuperation? Because they get... He would have gotten afflicted to hell. I think they do, yeah. Worm Mages are good. The real trick is to enslave them. It's not too hard to do if they don't put any gear on them. It's actually kind of easy. Oh, we'll see. He does have one exposed Worm Mage out right now. We can look at it in a minute. Harbinger comes in. We'll just check out the kit he's got on this guy. It's a Star of Thraldom, which is not great, but okay. It's good versus thugs, I guess. He's got a Charcoal Shield, which is good against chaff. He's got this stuff and then a Shade Mail Hallberg. So he's stealthy and flying, which is kind of annoying. I mean, he's still vulnerable to magic. I mean, to Mind Hunt, but I assume he's moving him around mostly with a bodyguard here of some astral dude with Shade Mail Hallberg also. I think my best attempt to deal with these guys is just to arrange little traps to catch them. If I have people here with magic, like a magic attack that doesn't really care about the all, it's not going to care about misform, it's not going to care about all. I think it'll do pretty well. The mirror image is a bit of a motherfucker. Or, like, I was thinking Lamash does, is kind of what I was thinking. But anyway, that murders my PD pretty efficiently. That was this one. Next battle, Shiniyama is taking Deep Blue, which was the province kind of bargained to him. We have Relay, and this I don't actually understand. I'll just be honest. A bunch of little cheap shit. Like, this stuff is bad. It's just bad. It does have a shield and 2 weapons. And I've got like 20 PD. And my guys are not good. They definitely have worse... I don't know why their stats are so bad. Oh, darkness. Did these guys have dark vision? That's probably explains it then. Spirit sight, okay. That's why. Because I did not understand how I lost this battle, but I realize now that this isn't a dark province, and these guys, because they don't, like, they just murder mine, and my guys don't do shit. I was like, how the fuck? Normally when you surround a blob of dudes like this, you're gonna just wreak havoc on them, but in this case it didn't happen. So that's something I need to factor in when I'm looking at, like, PD dumps, is when I do PD, because this is a fair amount of PD, I need to factor in if it's the right kind of PD for a dark, like for an underwater, deep underwater province. Our golem raids here, kills some stuff. This actually is a shame. I didn't realize this, but I had scripted this guy to retreat. Some of you may have noticed. So he buffs him up and then runs. So that actually sucks. We didn't really lose anybody. I think we lost one guy. Now the Imperial Geomancer comes, and now this is actually kind of interesting because I don't have anybody with undead leadership, so my Tard actually runs, which actually is fortuitous because it's hard to get him out. Like, and I forgot actually to bring it, so I was actually going to have a lot of trouble. I was going to have to do 0 PD so that he would automatically run the next turn. But anyway, he went ahead and ran this turn, and so that's nice. But this was just coming in to fluff the Tart, who I already stole in the magic phase. So anyway, the cost of the war TNG, we are going to make you pay, even though I don't think we can hold back the tides. So this is a battle inside a fort, and this is actually an easy fort from Relay. There's not much inside, and I kind of double checked because I was going to send the whole army in, and then I decided not to. So he summons 1 water elemental, and then we kill everything. I think we lost a little bit of stuff. Yeah, we lost 3 war shamblers, which is fine. I'm not actually sure what killed him. I guess the slave mage killed one. One of the illithid soldiers killed one. And then I'm assuming the water elemental killed another. Because I lost 3. And then we have a battle here, which actually is a real battle. Versus Relay. Now, if he did Foul Vapors, I think he would have won this, actually. Which he could. Like, this guy can cast Foul Vapors. Which I think is one of the big tricks. He, thank God, did not deploy underwater. Because honestly, trying to take a fort with... Like, you have to... If he did that, I would have to have a Nature Mage to do Serpent's Blessing and Mass Regen. Otherwise, filling up the gate right here like he did with Water Elementals... And there's some things that weren't great about my my scripting. Like, I have my water elementals at the back, like they had to kind of run past my troops. The ghosts here are kind of working their way through, which is kind of nice. But yeah, the scripting was not really great here, but if he had Foul Vapors up, I do not have poison resistance on my guys, so I probably would have lost this. And by probably, I mean I'm pretty sure. And if I won, I would have lost with just horrific casualties. Now, if he had more water gems to do another wave of water elemental summoning, he potentially could have even won that way too. So this is a lot more hotly contested than I thought, but once my guys get out, they kind of get back here and start hitting the mages. Certainly keep them tied up. They eventually kind of get beaten down with Water Strike, but by that time the rest of the battle's over and my guys stream in. So if we look at the casualties here, I actually lost a fair amount. I lost 8 ghosts, which that sucks. And then I lost 41 war shamblers, which is kind of a lot. It took a fair amount of the punching power out of this army. But to be fair, it was a good trade in terms of gold. So, I mean, honestly, this could have gone a lot worse. So I'm actually really happy with how this turned out. And It was a pretty good defense. I mean, he did a bunch of water elementals and a communion, which can be really hard to take underwater, but if he just threw in foul vapors, I would have lost, which would have really, really sucked. So, it would have probably even put me in a bad mood. Like, it would have just been such a zinger, because this army would be really hard to reinforce. And I really needed to wrap this war with relay up kind of quickly, so... there we go. That was the final battle for this fort. So now we've been through all the battles. We got 5 pots with some gold. Some people have been cursed. We got a Knight of the Deeps. Here. Not sure what we're going to use him for. He's aquatic, so he can really only just kind of zip around underwater. I'll come over here and make that a fort. I think what we're going to do, too, because we've got our Naiad, I think we're going to put a water bracelet on, and we'll have her do... Oh, wait. Do I have the wrong thing? Yeah, she needs a Thistle Mace. And I think we're going to put a living castle here. We have one being built here. We have... I don't think we're building one here, right? Yeah, we're not. But I think we're going to go ahead and build a temple. And building a temple plus doing our fort here, that's going to really help with our Dominion in this lake. Honestly, like, the way to think about Dominion too is... Like, to push Dominion out, you need kind of an overwhelming Dominion strength. And as evidenced by the fact that we're barely able to keep it in our own forts, it means we don't really have that. I don't know what Dominion strength TNG has, but it must be like 14 or 15. Because wherever we have a border with TNG, we just struggle so hard. So hard to keep it. To keep our Dominion there. But anyway, so we're going to put a living castle up here. We living castled here, which I actually thought for whatever reason I did it here, but anyway, we're doing it there this turn too, so we're making a living castle there. So that's like 80 nature gems, but it's not a huge deal, it's only a couple turns of income. We do need to get... Did I not have a preacher? Oh. Let's not move and attack Shiniyama. Let's not break this this piece right away. I don't know how that order happened. The other thing too is Shiniyama does not have, I don't think, a huge amount of Dominion, nor a huge amount of Dominion push. So once we get all of this templed, I think he's going to have a pretty hard time keeping our Dominion out. Do I not have another temple somewhere? I mean, another priest? I need to move a priest in over here. Okay, we've preached there as much as we can. What's the movement cost? 20 to get there? I definitely can't get there in one turn. I guess we'd move back and then walk over there. I don't have anybody else close by. We're building palisades. I think we're going a bit for the longer play, and what that means is we're doing things like forting up. Like, I'm going to fort up these islands. I think I'm going to turn them into blood hunting provinces. This one especially will be pretty good. So I'll probably put a lab and a temple here. Blood economy, how much did we get this turn? Around 100 again. This was previously werewolves, and he sent a tart over here. It's kind of interesting. You know, I don't know what's on this tart, but we could potentially enslave it too. That's the other way to deal with that Harbinger. Like, this guy with the Thistle Mace can also do Charm. which with enough PD... How many more? I better be spamming these guys out. Good. I got actually a sizable Bane army here just from having this one guy go in. Here we'd need to build a temple as well. Almost all my money this turn's going into infrastructure. We've got a pretty good margin between income and upkeep, which is pretty nice. Having disposable income is really nice. Otherwise you can't do things like go into an infrastructure phase again, which I think is the right call in this game. Just gonna walk around and fort and temple everything. Now, I'm only really gonna do... Actually, you know what? I don't really need a living castle. I think the gold's more valuable than gems, so I think we're actually gonna... I think you're gonna hang tight. We need those gems. You can just side search here. I think we're gonna have somebody build it. Okay, so that should free up enough money. Oh, I forgot. Oh, it's 600. Okay. So that'll free up enough money for us to do a fort. And I don't necessarily need a high-level fort, just any fort will do. But I think that's what we're going to do, is take all our money, put it... We're going to get a huge amount of dom pressure. Start forting everything up. And then, the other thing I was thinking about... So there's a few things I wanted to show you. Let me pause it. I'm going to go ahead and show you a spreadsheet. Okay, so I was trying to figure out the idea of doing a wish farm. And to get a wish farm to really work, you kind of... I think you need a thaumaturgy bonus... I mean, an alteration bonus site. Which I don't think I have. 1 second. Okay, yeah, so I went and checked. And yeah, I don't have any alteration sites, but if I did, it's possible the math on this could play out where it's actually, like, infinite. As it stands, it's definitely not. Now, it could be wrong, and I was searching on Discord for people talking about it, and the things I found, some of them were against this. Like, some of it seemed to say... for every 2 gems you spend, you get 1 gem back from Nexus as a pearl. What I understand, though, and what happened in my test, when I actually tested it, is, yeah, you get, for every 2 gems you spend, you get 1 back as a pearl, but after it gets alchemized at like a 50% efficiency. So you really only get, like, for every 4 gems you spend, you get 1 gem back. So it costs you 100S. You get, if you wish for gems, you get 140 different total gems back. From Nexus, it's going to reimburse you 30, about. And basically that's the 1 for 4 from all the gems you... But this is only... It's not going to reimburse you for Nexus itself. This reimbursement is for spending... actually spending all the gems that you get of the various types. Then when you factor in the fact you got 20 from Nexus, I mean from wishing for gems, you got 20 pearls, plus the 30, it means the real cost is 50. So the way to think about this, at least the way I think about this, is that you're basically, like, if you have this setup, if you have Nexus... You basically can take 50 pearls of real income, which, like, I have that, and you can turn it into 120 non-pearls, which is a lot. And I have good ways to sink almost all of my non-pearls. So, that's kind of how I'm looking at it. So once I have Nexus up, not only am I going to have probably like 200 pearl income a turn from it, Some of that will be, a lot of it's going to be from, I'm going to just go hog wild, spending my own stuff to generate income for Nexus. I'm going to, like, this mode I'm in right now where I'm, like, hardly spending anything because I'm saving, I'm going to just go 180 from that and just go hog wild. Spending. We're going to be casting Wish all the time. And, yeah, we're going to just get that engine going. So I think that will be good. And the benefits of Nexus are going to be twofold. One is we're going to have this setup going. The second setup that we're going, or the second benefit is people are not going to want to spend. They're going to be like very stingy about what they actually spend on. Which on one hand is going to suck because I'm not going to get as much income, and they're going to waste money on trying to dispel it, which is fine. But that's basically, once they realize they can't dispel it, they're just going to live with it, and they're going to have to spend gems. But honestly, it's like the later they come to that conclusion, the better, because before that, they're not going to be doing anything. Really, they're not going to be making items, they're not going to be doing a bunch of shit. So, that's actually in some ways the best part of Nexus, is them taking like 10 turns to figure out they're not going to be able to take it down. So yeah, we're going to do Astral 12 Nexus with 120 pearls in it. That's the plan. Now, alternatively, I could go with Amulet of the Fish here and use this enchantment bonus 20. My thinking is, if what matters is the total amount of overcast, more so than the efficiency, the cost, then this is of dubious value, because Nexus is 150 pearls, so a 20% discount on that is going to be a 30 pearl discount. Now, you would normally be like, oh, sweet. But in order for me to use this site, I have to be wearing an Amulet of the Fish, which means I'm going to have one less Astral, which is less overcast, effective overcast, and that's going to limit my total amount of gems I can put into it by 100. So if I'm an Astral 11, I can only put 1,100, which means that if they do 1,000 Dispel, they would take it down. But if they do 1,000 Dispel and I have I'm Astral 12 and I'm casting it with essentially 1,050 Overcast, and 1,000 Dispel is only going to be like a 960 Overcast. So there's no way that if they put 1,000 pearls in it, which I think they'll really struggle to do, but I also think they're going to try. Just given the fact they've already taken Nexus down twice. But anyway, if I can keep it up, we'll be in good shape. And I'm pretty sure they're not... They would have to basically be planning for this, having an Astral, like, Astral 11 access, which is kind of crazy, to take it down. If they had Astral 11, I think they could take it down. But it would be so hard for them to do. So that's part of the plan. The other part of the plan, and this is some kind of crazy shit, is I can take my god, and with some of the crazy pearls I'm getting as income, I'm gonna actually be able to empower. Now, when you wish for magical power, which is what I've been doing to get my pass higher, when you wish for magical power, it caps you at 10. So, like, if I wish for magical power again, which I may do, because I need death higher, but I'm also not sure, because I'm not going to be using my god in combat as much. But I might. Anyway, when you wish for magical power, caps you at 10, but you can still empower beyond that. So if I'm rolling in pearls, if I can get up to, let's say, Astral 12, all of a sudden I'm going to start feeling a lot more confident putting up something like Strands of Arcane Power. And if I do that in conjunction with all the fording up I'm going to do, I think we'll be in the money. Because, yeah, if I keep Strands of Arcane Power up and I ford up, I'm pretty sure within 10 turns I'll be in a pretty different situation from when that starts. The other thing that's somewhat apparent is I did not bump with Vanarus as I was thinking. I think I had sent it, as I was reflecting, I think I've sent him a message saying that basically he can have whatever he has on land and the water's mine. So I guess he's taken that to heart and is kind of pulling his army out. I also sent him a note last turn, which I think I showed you, but I might not have. Basically where I say... hey... we need to get together and talk about Diplo. And what I want to see when I talk to him is basically I'm going to drop a note to him that he has that he and Shinuyama are kind of natural allies. Now, the one problem with Vanarus is that Vanarus is kind of big now, right? They're actually pretty big. They're probably pretty close to the size of Pythium, and they're a blood nation, which actually puts them in a decent position to win. We saw, I think, last turn. He has a bunch of Storm Demons running around. Now, I'm not that worried because I've kind of got Storm Demons numbers. And, like, if that's all he's fielding armies of Storm Demons, I'm pretty confident I can counter that. But they're one of the better late-game troops. And then Blood's really strong. The other card he has is he potentially can throw up Astral Corruption. Now, it's not going to be as debilitating to us as it would be. I don't think Pythium has a big blood economy, though I know he has some because I see the first evidence of it here. And I don't think Shinuyama does, but TNG probably has the biggest blood economy. I would bet you TNG has at least, well, no, that's probably not true. They probably have a comparable blood economy to Vanarus. So anyway, Vanarus definitely has a play on late game. I think we actually are, if he doesn't take this water, if he gives me all this water, I'm going to be happy with him keeping this. Because it's worth it for me not to have to fight Vanarus. Like, this is not enough to justify a war. But if he were to go ahead and take all this, it would be enough to justify a war. So, that's good for me, because ideally I get all this and I don't have a war with Vanarus. What are we making here? More of those mages, that's fine. So, that is kind of my plan. My plan is to talk with Vanarus, hopefully get him and Shinuyama making a play. I think if they make... thing is, my goal is to get out... to cause damage to one of the two other major powers. Like, I think I'm in position 1. I think these guys are in position 2. I think they're somewhat tied. I think Pythium by nature is a better late game nation than TNG, but I think TNG has a better economy and is a better player in a little bit, in a few ways, just from what I've seen so far. So I think they're a little tied, but I'd put TNG number 2 and I'd put Pythium number 3. And then I think Vanarus is in a close 4th. Potentially is in 2nd or 3rd, because I don't have a ton of intel. If he has a really big blood economy, let's say he's up at 400 or 500 blood slaves a turn, then potentially he's in 1st or 2nd. But I just have no way of gauging that. But the only things I have as kind of data points are that he was losing in the war to Relay before I intervened, which makes me think he's not really in 2nd or 3rd. That really he's in 4th, because either one of these guys would have solo won against Relay in a war. So that's my power assessment, and then I think that puts Shinuyama in 5th. But they're a somewhat powerful 5th, as we talked about in the last episode, because they've got 2 caps, which honestly is... I mean, these guys might have 3 caps. I think these guys have, what, Niflheim maybe? I don't even know where Niflheim is. Oh, Jotunheim. It's right here. So that's a pretty valuable province. Anyway. What was I saying? Yeah, okay, so I think that Vanarus has... Maybe, no, they probably have 3 capitals. Maybe they have a Gartha or something. I forgot who's over here. Ooh, Falegra. That's probably who they have. No, this may be Pythiums. I think this is Pythiums. Where's Agartha? Ooh, man. So they have man. Yeah, so they have at least 3. They have Fascia, man, and then their own. They may have one more that I'm not aware of. So I think they're in a pretty... I think they're pretty close with Pythium for 3rd place. But I think they're in 4th, and then I think Shiniyama's in 5th. Now, what I'm thinking is that if Shiniyama and Vanarus team up, they should be able to take out Tianqi or Pythium, because Tianqi or Pythium also have to commit people on my front. And honestly, if they don't, then I'll start probably pushing them back. So, like, if they go after Pythium, which they could, then I'll probably push forward and take, like, my share of stuff. Or, like, maybe it would actually be enough to crumble Pythium if they both attacked. Yeah, like, what I would probably do is Pythium would probably ask for peace. I would probably get some favorable terms, like, I get to keep all the territory I've taken, plus, like, maybe 1, and then I'll let him pull his troops to go fight and maybe win that war, and that will kind of wear them down. And then at some point, like, if we have a nap 3, if it looks like Pythium's gonna lose, then I'll probably end, and then, like, in the nap, and then when the nap's over, I'll just take some of the stuff after he'll have fully committed his troops to fighting them. Like, that would be ideal for me. And that would also allow me to then be only in 1 war, and that would be against Tianqi, who I think is in the number 2 slot, which, honestly, that's about as good as I could ask for, given the state of things. If they don't team together, if, for example, Vanarus could decide to attack me, I don't think that would be terribly wise. He doesn't have much to gain, but he actually has, in this case, a fair amount to lose. Like, he would almost certainly lose this cap in a prolonged war with me. Unless he thinks he could win underwater, which... I don't know how well Storm Demons will do underwater, but I don't think they'll do well enough to justify... Like, you can't do Storm... you can't do any of the blood spells like Rush of Strength. They're a lot stronger on land. And then I can steal them with Mr. Hands, so... yeah, not sure. So yeah, we've got this tart here. I gotta figure out how we're gonna, Gift of Reason him back. And maybe I don't let this one die, like all the other tarts I've gotten. We've given Shademail Hallbergs to these guys, and they're gonna sneak out because they represent a huge investment, and I don't really want them to die, but they might. These guys are gonna retreat out. If we get magic phased attacked, so be it, they're dead. If we get assassinated, so be it, they're dead. If we get normal phased attack, they'll be fine. No, if we get magic phased attack, they're gonna run. But if we get assassinated, they'll probably die. That's what I meant to say. But honestly, if they assassinate, they're really getting rid of like a 3-gem item, and they're not gonna get the item. So, like with the remote assassination, and there's like a small chance that it will fail. So it's not really a good use of their gems. But I kind of tried to bait it out. Like, I moved them in, and they had chest inventory slots that weren't Shademail. So I'm kind of hoping they cast something. Like 3 or 4 manifestations or something. That would be kind of hilarious. Just trying to find things for Tianqi to do. My god is in position to come on land, but we do not have... He probably built a lab here. Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to see. My god doesn't have the Amulet of the Fish, so he can't come on land and do a mass enslave, but that's what I was going to have him do this turn, is make an Amulet of the Fish. It would be nice to wish for magical power, that way I could do Soul Drain, Phoenix... or Soul Drain and Phoenix Pyre, and that would be hilarious. Anyway, we'll live without it. Never healing wound we've still got. But I'm thinking now, the more I think about it, the more I think Strands of Arcane Power is probably going to be the end game for me. Like, one way to do it too is I dispel all of this stuff on the same turn, everything that's not mine. So I have 2 open slots. And that will give me a slot the next turn to put up Strands of Arcane Power. We'll have to see. This, I think, is probably like a 400 or 500 casting. It's probably like 300. It's probably like 200 or 300. All is possible. Can't believe Mother Oak is still up. Stellar Focus I don't care much about. The other question is, when I put Arcane Nexus up, what's going to get wiped out? If it wiped out any of these 3, that would be pretty sad. But we'll tarry on. Let's think about it too. If I get 1/4 of my income back, and my total gem income, like non-astral income, is, let's say, 80, 110, 180, then 195, and then 230. Let's just say it's 230, and I get 1/4 of it back. Yeah, it's a lot. That's like almost 60 pearls. That's just from me. It's a lot. That'll mean I'll be, just from my gems, like if nobody else casts anything, I'll be getting 100 pearls a month, which is kind of a lot. And then if I do the wish strategy too, I'm going to be basically, yeah, I'll be getting even more. Well, kind of. I'll be getting, well, I don't know. Really, it's me getting, yeah. No, I will be getting more. But that's assuming, yeah, basically I'd then be at 100 pearls a turn that I get from just spending what I have. And then once I'm casting Wish all the time, it's going to be costing me 50, even though I've got a normal base income of 100. So that would be pretty cool. So I'll basically be getting, what it's going to turn Arcane Nexus into is, like, without anybody else casting anything, it's going to be an additional 20 income and all my other things, which is pretty huge. And I think I'm big enough where that will allow me to have basically probably more gem income than everybody else combined. Not counting blood slaves, but get another vampire here. I kind of want to send, I think I'm actually going to use these teleportation boots. Start zapping vampires around. Anyway, they'll be able to, well, there's a risk we could kind of die here, but we'll counteract that risk by actually scripting stuff. Probably fine. This will be a good little blunt hunting province. I do need to get some undead over there. I think we're gonna actually send these guys up. Got a fair amount of water gems and pearls and stuff stockpiled here, which I'm not gonna need now that I have peace. Take a lot of that off. So I think the plan, I think we're going to form up, I'm probably going to take all these guys, send them here, combine them with all my mages here, with whatever gear I can fit on them. Maybe move this army here, and then we're probably going to go ahead and move a huge doom stack on top of this. I've got to figure out what we're going to do in the actual battle, though. It's a lot of troops. You know, ideally I do a turn 1 mass enslave. So it could be I commit my god to it. Like, we could do the army here, and then we could doomstack here, combine these armies, like move these guys here. Then next turn we combine here. So this would be like an enormous army. And I could have my god here with all the gear to... That'd be kind of tough, though. Where is he? It's all the way down here. That would actually be okay. I could move him here. He could then do like a turn 1 enslave that would probably cause me to win this. Move Jim's on a scout. And then once I take this throne from Relay, it'll be good because I'll get the Dominion conflict bonus and order. Do I need order? Yeah, order would be nice. Basically give me like 2% more income. Or 3%? Yeah, 3%. So that'd be pretty sweet. So yeah, maybe that's what I do. Teleport my god here in conjunction with moving a big army in. Then have these guys move here. And then my god plus my army moves on top with, like, a fair amount of mass enslave. Plus other support. I think that's my plan. Puts us 2 turns away from this throne. Well, sieging it down is going to be a motherfucker. What's the fortification here? 500. I don't know if he'll do iron walls or not, but if he doesn't, like, if we just look at the strength, I've got 170, 150, so that's 300, and then this is only 150, so it's 450, so we're not quite enough. But where's my god? My god's here. We don't really have any troops. Yeah. The other thing I'm thinking is it would be nice for him to not know my god's there, but he probably isn't going to know that I'm going to, you know, murk him with master and slave. The other thing is it's going to be pretty high enemy dominion. It's probably like enemy dominion 8 or something, which means my god's going to be kind of low HP. And his magic resistance is going to be kind of low, so he could get soul slayed. So we got to be careful. I'm not sure if that's the play. I mean, it could be I just try to do it the old-fashioned way. But if I get turn 1 anti-magic off, I gotta be careful. I don't think I want to do life after death, but I've also got my god coming. Don't want him getting turned into a soulless. So I'm not sure. I think the play... I do need to go ahead and take this. The sooner I take it, the better. You know what I didn't do last turn was use my... should be pretty safe here. I need to give her a ring of returning, though. I don't want to risk it. Let's see if I can dig one up real quick. Got one here. I mean, we're probably fine, but there's always the chance something really bad could happen. Maybe there's a safer place. We're gonna have mass assassinations and stuff here too. I really have to one-turn crack it, so it might be I'm not ready yet because I can't one-turn crack it. But I could teleport my god to maybe like to here. Well, to go on land, I could just maybe I could move. I can move all the long dead here from this province, and then he can carry a lot. He can hold 140, which would give me enough. No. The effective siege defense here, you basically, I think it's as if there were, it's probably 180. So I probably need 700 siege strength. If I look at, if I were to take 40 of these guys, I mean 140 of these guys, it's 140. But I could also give a fair amount of the army. And if this guy astral travels in with a bunch of long dead and a huge army, and he's equipped to turn 1 mass enslave, there's still risks, like he could get hit by a horror. Yeah, I'm not sure. But I feel like this is the play. Bring a huge army from here back onto my god. Have my god, he can do whatever he wants this turn, but turn after, he's going to basically teleport here to my army. Well, can we do it this... No, we can't do it this turn because I need to astral travel with an army. So these guys will be here. Turn after, we'll have an army here and here. So I can take this army and move it here, and then next turn I can move it here. And then with that army, here and here, next turn we'll move it here and here. My god will astral travel in that turn with a big old frickin' army, ready to turn 1 mass enslave. We'll make sure I have maybe like a fairy court that can come in too. I don't think we're in range. Do I have anything here that's ranged? Okay, how far away? 8. Yeah, we're not in range. Dude, I don't even know where I'd do it. I do want to have an air mage with this army. But I think that's it. I think in like 2 or 3 turns we're going to attack this throne. Meanwhile, I'm also set up to send my god here if I need to. don't have... I feel a little weak over in this area. I'm definitely losing this war against Tianchi. I'm probably 2 or 3 turns away from Nexus. I haven't heard back from Pythium on whether he wants to trade nature, but if he does, I'll trade nature for pearls, and it's probably the only thing I'll trade nature for. I don't know if he'll do that, though. The other thing I kind of want to do is kill this Tartarian. He's just been taunting me here for a few turns. And I kind of also want to raid some of this stuff. We'll have to see. With this war with Shiniyama over, I'm going to have the resources to start doing it. I may want to fort this up. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this assassin. He's pretty handy. Maybe... Record of creation this. So these guys are probably going to get another turn forging. We'll make more water lenses and water bracelets. We'll send an army here. Next turn, we'll consolidate the mages from here who've been making stuff with the army, whatever's here. These guys are getting the fuck out. Got just a casual 10 PD here. I think that's it. Alright guys. Yeah, I think next turn we'll probably do it. I'll play it out and then I'll do the recording, so we'll switch back over to that form. Yeah, we're gonna patrol out these guys here too. Stupid assassins. And because I've locked this fort down this turn, this is where I sent the Ghost Riders. Because I've locked it down, I don't really have to worry about patrolling. It'll be okay, we'll get some water bottles. If I'm lucky. We can see Tianchi's actually more forted, Pythium is more forted up on this front than on my front. Now, one thing he hasn't been doing is magic phase attacking me. So because he hasn't, we could potentially be greedy and just normal phase attack here. Here he has released ones and released warriors. I wonder if he did this to get Shademail Halberd building capacity, because the mages you get with this are one of the ways to do it. But if we moved here, we'd almost definitely be caught, and we'd probably both be caught. And the flyers, if we got Soul Vortex up, it would probably be okay. I don't want this person getting caught, though. That might be a little dangerous. Could be an okay place to send him, actually. Let's see. Sending him here is definitely an option. weaken his blood economy. Anyway, I think that's it, guys. See y'all next time. Hey guys, so I'm actually doing an addendum. I know I ended it, but I've had a fair bit has happened. I have a little bit of time until this hosts, but we've had some major diplomatic changes. There've been a few things. One is I have word from. So I had made peace with Shiniyama a while ago, right? So a while ago, like a couple turns ago. So he took this back, like 1 turn ago. Feels like a while ago, because the turns are going, like, every 2 or 3 days, so it's a little slow, but yeah, so anyway, he took this back, and I was telling Shiniyama that, hey, you and Vanarus, if y'all work together, and y'all pick one of these guys to go after, and then, it will probably play out okay for you. And I said, like, I'm at war with both of them, so anyway, it will probably be fine. Now, the evolution and the diplomatic situation has been that I have word that they have chosen. I think Vanarus told me as I was talking to him. And I've kind of been just subtly hinting at it to both of them that, hey, if y'all both go after one of them, then there's a good chance y'all can gain a lot of land. Now, Vanarus is big. Like, Vanarus is not a small player anymore. Vanarus is a... Like, I think they're tied for 3rd, if not 2nd. And then if they have a really big blood economy, they could even be 1st. Especially once they throw up, like, Astral Corruption or something like that. But it really, I think a lot of their real strength depends on their blood economy and how many Storm Demons they have, which is kind of the late game for Vanarus. But you really need, like, a big... I don't know. We'll see. Storm Demons... I don't know. They need a good amount of mage support, I think, because they're kind of one-dimensional with the lightning attack. Anyway. But these guys are... I've gotten word that they're going to go after Pythium. And I was kind of thinking they would go after Tianqi, but they've chosen Pythium. Now, in one sense, Pythium probably, if I just had to say... I don't know. They're probably about equal in terms of economy. Tianqi's bigger than Pythium, probably by like 20-30%. I think the two, honestly, I think the two of these guys are going to crush Pythium. Now, the thing is as they're crushing him, I need to make sure I get in on the spoils, and if they do that, I want to get, like, probably about this amount of stuff. My mouse is. But doing that will give me potentially some of their thrones, like this throne and this throne. If they start crushing, that might be enough to get me very close to winning the game. So... It'll be kind of weird, because as they start eating Pythium, if I jump in on that train, then there's going to be a lot of aggression from probably them against me. So, it doesn't leave me a lot of time, and I don't want them to eat Pythium terribly quickly. The reason for that is that if they eat them quickly, I'm not going to be prepared for the aggression that I'm going to get after I eat some of Pythium, because I don't have to eat and it's hard for me to eat any of Pythium without really getting super close to these thrones. So, like, I could potentially get some of this stuff, but anyway. So what I want, I think ideal situation for me is these guys get in a grindy war, Vanarus and Shiniyama with Pythium, where they're emphasis on slowly eating Pythium. And if that happens, then in about 10 turns, once, like, Pythium's main armies are depleted, etc., their gem banks are depleted, I'm much more secure in the Relayan territory. Maybe I'm even set up to defend against an attack from Vanarus. At that point, I could jump in on the really go on the attack against Pythium and get a bunch of stuff. That's one way it could play out. But I don't know if Pythium has gotten word of this. I certainly haven't told Pythium. And I thought about it, but in some sense it would be a betrayal of kind of the confidence I had in these guys when they told me. But I also, Pythium I think Pythium is number 3, I think Vanarus is 4, and I think Shiniyama is 5, as we were talking about. So I don't want to do anything that's going to prevent these guys from getting a jump on Pythium. I would certainly like them weakened. And I have basically also 2, not real neighbors. Like, I don't even really consider Shiniyama a neighbor, since they're only they only neighbor my water provinces. And honestly, I mean, they tried, and it was in some ways admirable. But, you know, they're not a real threat. But Pythium is a real threat to my empire over here. So, anyways, people teaming up against a real legitimate threat of a neighbor is something I'm into. So anyway, they're going to attack. Pythium, I think, has gotten word of it, even though I haven't told them, and that I think I dropped I can't even remember what I said, but I think I sent him a note where I had said, hey, if you want to demilitarize our border some, you know, and go, because TNG just took Gift of Health, and go, I don't know if it was this turn or the turn before, I think it was the turn before. If you want to take, deal with TNG, we can demilitarize our border and you can move your troops elsewhere. And at that point, he shared with me an extremely interesting piece of intel. And that piece of intel was that I already have, and I was like, what? And he's like, yeah, I have a lot of plus army items. So this is fake. This is probably, all these are probably fake. These are probably only maybe 200 troops, 200 troops, 200 troops. So not even scary armies. Now, I could be wrong, but this would be a lot of troops for, I mean, it's possible, but, I mean, it would be a lot. Like, this is a lot of Ichthids. I've never seen this many Ichthids. So it actually makes a lot of sense that he has plus army items. Anyway. These have had a big effect on me, like, psychologically. Like, I've been preparing for this, and I've got all these scripts set up, preparing for an undead invasion that like an underwater invasion that I guess was never really happening, because these armies weren't that big. So maybe I should do more of the army size items, because I think it was definitely working. And so anyway, we had kind of said that, and he was like, yeah, I've already been doing that. And I'm like, okay. And he then replies and says, okay, well, I'm still taking back this province, 84, and this province, 25. And I was like, oh. What, does that mean you want a general ceasefire? And he said, yeah, actually, I kind of would. And so I didn't actually ask for it, which is always good, because I don't want to seem needy. Like, I'm fine, and honestly, it's been profitable, this war. I mean, it's probably cost me gems in the sense that, like, the additional provinces I've gained have not been paying for all the gems I've been spending per turn. But I've been gaining land and income, like money. So it's okay. I'm okay with the war continuing, but I'm also okay with it ending. And there's a few good things about potentially me getting out of being in conflict with Pythium. One is he'll pour his troops and resources into fighting someone else. And 2, I can stop spending gems and get Arcane Nexus up sooner. Now, unfortunately, part of that condition was, so we basically just agreed on, it's only like 10 minutes ago, we just agreed to a nap 2. And that was on his suggestion. But he said if I do anything crazy like go for a throne rush or put up Arcane Nexus, then that will end it. So I am going to put up Arcane Nexus, and I'm going to put it up pretty quick. But honestly, that's okay, because this non-aggression pact that we have that we now have, it's going to give him enough to commit more fully to wars down here. Which is really all I need. And even if he wants to re-engage and have another war, it's going to take him a long time for him to move his troops back across the Empire. And anyway, by that time I'll have had Nexus up for a long time. The thing that is important to me, and I think it's kind of a moot point, as long as these guys are attacking him, and so that's another thing to think about with my timing of Nexus, is I want to allow these guys to get fully committed to a war, which means they've traded some provinces, maybe taken a fort or two, I don't know. We'll see. But I think those were all pretty important updates. Like, one, that some of these are at least plus army items. Two, that now I'm at peace with Shiniyama and at peace with Pythium. And the war with Relay is almost over. I have a few important battles left, but almost all is, like, infrastructure is mine. I've got like this pocket of resistance, but it's basically done. So once all that happens, I basically am just left with TNG. And if you give me a one-dimensional fight, like, I'm so far in the game, everybody's been fighting me, and it's been just like I don't have enough resources to properly defend anything because I'm fighting everywhere. Or I at least have to have, like, mages patrolling with defenses everywhere. And now all of a sudden the game really it sharpens and focuses just to a few key battlefronts that I have open. And this is going to give me a much needed breath of air while I get ready for this work. There's a few things I had to undo. I was doing like Ghost Rider, sending them here against this guy. I think I had a remote attack there. I've tried to get rid of all of them. I may have forgotten one. I'll actually send him a message saying, hope I got rid of all attacks against you. If not, apologies. Okay. Okay, he's gonna go to sneak. You guys are sneaking and moving out. These guys are sneaking out. You're leaving. This guy was doing, like, something else. We were gonna patrol out the assassins. He's pulling the assassins out now. I think those are the major changes. My golem, I was thinking about sending in here to take out this little blood hunting province he's got. But instead I decided to get him in this fort where I can basically forward deploy him somewhere. And I'm not sure where he's gonna go. We'll find out. Yeah, I'm not really sure. You know, if he's going back, if he gets magic phase detect, we'll go ahead and just put returning on him, just in case. So if I get magic phase detect, it's not going to be a good thing, and if I don't get magic phase detect, returning's not going to trigger. Actually, honestly, we can just kill these guys. Well, no, but then I can't remote deploy. I'm doing something a little tricky here. We've got this guy, I have Boots of the Plains on him. So he can do teleport every turn no matter whether he's in a lab. And he's got pretty good thug gear. Pretty high MR, and then his script is magic resistance first, so we'll be up at 25. And then quick and self, liquid body, astral shield, ice shield. So this is protective force. On top of that, he's got 27 protection. And it'll actually be a little higher once Berserk goes off, I think. And then he'll be fatigue neutral with only, you know, I've already got 3 reinvigoration. I'll have more effective fatigue once Berserk triggers, but I've got a Bloodthorn. So anyway, this guy should be a beast. We're gonna send him over here, and then he can go teleport out and potentially raid somewhere or do something completely different somewhere else. I was gonna move vampires to this island, but I decided the boots would basically be trapped. Next turn, I can potentially send. Well, not next turn, but in a turn or two. Well, I guess I can with the astral. Whatever you call it, the gate stone. But yeah, I can send vampires to this island because next turn I can switch over who's building the palisades, have him build a lab, and then I'll be able to take the whatever teleport item I put on my vampires off. Because the thing is, it's actually hard to get vampires to islands. But yeah, I think that's it. Those are the big changes in diplomacy at the moment. And I think that's actually, I mean, these are really big changes in the game. And they're really, really good for me. And really, the main thing that's shaking everything up is the small, medium nations doing what's in their best interest, or really not. They're not small. The medium nations doing what's in their best interest, which is attacking the big land nations. So we're just going to hang tight and enjoy this very favorable turn in diplomacy. Anyway, take care, guys.